Testing. 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 Hello. I'm Bo. I am an illustrator, animator, and story artist, and a full-time delivery driver. And I go by any pronouns. A couple of months back, I posted a poll asking if anyone would like to see me do some vlogging of my work, and 75% of you said like, yeah, you should vlog and put it up on your channel. And then I think like 20% of you were like, so, but I guess I just wanted to like start things off with a fun little video of like just something like a little bit in between of like vlogging and also doing art. So yeah, here are 6 things that I wish I knew before becoming an artist. And this is like all off the cuff. I haven't really scripted this. So if this all seems like very like scatterbrained sort of video, then I'm sorry if it's not very direct. I'm gonna do it or explain things the best way that I can, and like explain my experiences as becoming an artist to you the best way that I can. Hopefully this will be helpful. But yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing that I wish I knew before becoming an artist is that you shouldn't wait, just do it. Because when I was in high school, I had this idea of like, when I was first like trying out animation and illustration and art in general, I had this idea in my mind where like, oh, I may not know this now, but when I hit this age, all that's gonna come in, like all of those techniques, and I'll just magically just be an amazing artist at this age. It doesn't work that way at all, and I don't know how or why I got that idea. I just thought like, oh yes, if I turn 20 something, I'll be able to draw everything. Even though part of that is true, there's still stuff that I feel like I don't really know how to draw. Like I'm going back to the basics now, and I still don't know how to draw cars. I still don't know how to draw backgrounds. Like I push those things off so much that it's still a struggle for me to like understand perspective and like architecture and things that I wish that I did more of while I was like growing into being an artist. And I remember like in my senior year thinking like, oh yes, once I get into college and become an art major, like I'll be taught all these like techniques, like these 2D art techniques. Like 2D animation was the thing that I really wanted to learn. But instead, I never really got to like learn the things that I wanted to in college, and instead I only had like about a week to learn 2D, and then the rest of my like 3 years of working in the animation major was all dedicated to 3D. And even though those 3 years were good years to like learn 3D, I still wish that I went back and like learned some more like pre-production, more 2D stuff. So I kind of had to figure that stuff on my own. So, and unfortunately, most of the things that you are beneficial to you, you probably are going to learn on your own. So like, my best advice is that you should not wait on the things that you want to learn and just go for it. Because, I mean, we all grow at different rates. And like, sure, someone out there is probably going to be like better at drawing hands than you. But who's stopping you from drawing hands now? No one is, except for you. So, the second thing that I wish I knew before becoming an artist was that being an artist is not an introverted job. Like I feel like there is like a bias when it comes to being an artist, because like movies have built up this idea of like, oh, the artist is very like mysterious and not very social and always in their room and whatever. And yes, part of that is true, because a majority of us do like to be cooped up and sit in our rooms all day drawing, but a majority of the job of being an artist is actually very extroverted. You have to like build connections, also reach out to people to find clients and future job opportunities, because otherwise, if you don't talk to anybody, you're probably not going to get any jobs. While you are employed by somebody, it's super important to build a good connection with your clients, because you never know, they might hire you again, and like they might recommend you to other people who may need your help. I remember going to Lightbox Expo, and I noticed like a lot of artists just like me who don't really work in the animation industry, but who would like to work in a professional setting, would approach recruiters, and it's difficult because I guess in that setting you are in a high traffic environment trying to put yourself out there, but it's hard to promote yourself when you don't have a lot of practice with it. And the best way to practice like promoting yourself is by just going out and talking to people. Like, I feel like it's so overlooked that communication is kind of gets lost in the whole like job hunting sort of area. Because a lot of us do focus on the craft. Like, I feel like a lot of us focus more on the craft when it comes to art than we do with, like, other people. And some of us may not have, like, that issue. Like, some of us may, like, have a really good rapport with people. And they have developed good connections through their experiences. But in order for you to get yourself out there, I feel like you need to go out and talk to more people, because yes, you can't always keep yourself, like, no one's gonna find you if you're not talking about what you do and what you're working on. Even if it's just like you're going out to a coffee shop to, like, draw in your sketchbook and somebody comes up to you and go like, what you working on? Don't be afraid to, like, show people your work, because you know, whatever it is, I mean, I bet it's like something you probably do or want to show someone it, and you might build a connection there. The third thing that I wish that I knew, you should have other hobbies. Have other hobbies other than art. Because, yes, you can dedicate your life to art, but it's important for you to, like, take breaks and maybe explore some different things on the side, because, like, every artist goes through burnout at some point. And when you're going to go through burnout, you wish that you could do, like, something else, like maybe something productive, maybe something that could, like, spark your interest back into doing art. I feel like the best way to do that is to, like, explore different mediums, or just explore a different activity. I've seen people, like, go out and take a pottery class when they are working in music or doing, like, digital art. If you are a digital artist and you want to try something different, try doing traditional art for a little bit and see how you feel about it. Because we all started with traditional art, I feel like. Unless you've been brought up in this paint sort of upbringing. Like, everybody starts somewhere. But yeah, like, maybe you could do pottery, or you could do painting, you could do crochet, knitting, sewing, embroidery. I've done a little bit of embroidery myself, and actually embroidery is really fun. I actually really do enjoy that, because I used to do, sorry, I bumped the mic. I used to do embroidery when I was younger with my mom. Yeah, rediscover old activities that you did when you were younger. And it doesn't have to be art. You could always, like, go out and run with a group, or go roller skating. My sibling's doing that now, and I'm like, that sounds like fun. Or you could just, like, go to the gym. You could always go hiking. You could learn a new recipe, you could learn how to bake bread, you could just try something different for a while. I mean, like, it doesn't always have to be the things I suggested, but like, try to rediscover the things that you used to enjoy and try to do those things. Because, like, if you are feeling burnt out on the thing that you're doing now, maybe you should try something different for a while and learn a bit from that. Like, I don't know, if you do like a lot of like 2D work, try to do some 3D work or sculpture work or whatever. Like, maybe get back into writing. Write a story. Go out with your friends. Do things. And like, just go out and explore like different things. Try everything, basically. Because like, sure, you could probably like sacrifice a lot of time and effort into your art and craft, but you should always like make room for your life too. Because like, one of the things that I do think about, and because I recently hung out with one of my coworkers, and he does a bunch of different things. He helps out with the community theater, and he does painting, and he's now thinking about going into animation. But one of the things that he had told me, the reason why he tries to like go out with people and do like community things is that the more he experiences things, the more inspiration he gets for his art. So like, not only he's like living his life, but it's also adding to his motivation and inspiration to do work and do art, which I think that's awesome. I think that's a really awesome way of like getting yourself out there and like experiencing new things. The only thing that I would have to warn about that is that don't exert yourself. Like, don't make you going outside and like going out and doing things work. Those things should be fun. It should not be because it should not be connected to work, I guess, if that makes sense. Have hobbies and take breaks and be gentle with yourself while you are going through burnout. Because those things are important. And also take care of your health. The fourth thing that I wish I knew before becoming an artist is that every artist should take a business course. Why? Because I think for any artist, everybody should at least know how to read a contract and create a contract, because being an artist is a nomadic lifestyle. It's never going to be a stable sort of lifestyle. I've been watching like the animation industry right now, and the fact that they have let go a lot of workers in studios, and the fact that now that they're trying to like get unionized and like doing protests on workers' rights, which is awesome, and I love that people are protesting about that. Even working in a professional studio, it's not always going to be a stable thing. It's not going to always, I mean, like, I like to say that everything's not forever, because like things always change. You never know like what's going to happen next. So I honestly wish that when I was in college, because I went to a regular university instead of going to art school, I wish I took a business course, because even though all the art classes are really like good and informative, we never really touched on like how to like finance yourself, and also like how to know how to like market yourself, and also how to not screw yourself over with a client. Because I have had plenty of freelance jobs that I've kind of like jumped into without any contracts or anything, and we're just like, I don't know whether or not if I'm gonna get paid or not. And the times when I did sign a contract, I had no repercussions with them, but you never know with a contract. Like, it's always good to read a contract, go through it, make sure that your client is not going to take advantage of your work, and knowing that you can go through it and like say like, hey, this is okay with me, no, this isn't okay with me. And like, and also a business course actually does help you out with negotiating those terms. So it's not always like you freaking out over like, oh no, is this okay? Am I going to lose this client because I said this thing, even though it's important to me? Even if you do lose a client because of a negotiation, it's probably for the best at that point, because you don't really want to work with somebody who's not going to work with you. Or at least I feel like that's right. But yes, if you are in high school right now, or if you are in college right now, or you're just looking for classes to fill time, take a business course. That might be fun. Actually, it might be boring, but it will be beneficial in the future. Let's see. Gosh, did I say 5 things I wish I knew before becoming an artist? Or did I say 6? Because I meant 6. Because the 5th thing I wish I knew before becoming an artist is that, and this is something that I'm gonna tell you because you probably have met an art teacher who has told you this before, but I'm gonna go against them and say this: you should make fan art. Because the reason why I say that is that you making fan art is actually a great way to like learn how to draw. Just because, for one, it's giving you like the motivation to draw, and also you're studying a different art style from your style, because everybody's style is different. And whatever you pick up from drawing in their style or drawing their characters, it's gonna be beneficial for you in the future. I think the reason why teachers just tell you that is because they don't want you to be stuck in the box of like just drawing one style, because I mean, like, we all have our favorite shows, and like sometimes we are stuck to that show for like years to come. um so I think while you're just making fan art, just try to like expand on it. Just like try different styles. Like, and also don't feel bad for making fan art. Like, a lot of people say like don't make fan art. I remember when my mom was telling me when I was first starting out as an artist, she told me like don't make fan art, just make your original work. And like, and my teachers said like don't make fan art either, just do original work. The thing is, it's hard making original work. Like, it's hard making original art when you have nowhere to start from. Like, the way I started drawing was actually drawing I was actually tracing Transformers. I was tracing Transformers and drawing Neopets. That's how I started drawing. I mean, I know a lot of people say like tracing is a bad thing, but when you are a baby and you don't know how to draw things, sometimes just tracing over things is good, as long as you don't, if you say that, yes, I traced over this and like it's not my art, it's something that I've just been learning from, I think that's okay. Actually, plenty of artists, they don't trace, but it's called a master study. They look they look at somebody's artwork and try to copy it. And they try to learn from that artist by reading what's on the page and trying to transfer it over to what they're working on right now. And that's a great way to learn. It's a great way to learn. It's safe. And as long as you credit the artist, going like, hey, this is a master study that I did of this artist's work, it should be fine. Or just don't post it. Like, I feel like master studies are things that you should like do on your own time. But if you feel very proud of the piece, I'd say, yeah, this is a master study that I did of this artist's work. Please go check them out. Yes. But I think anybody should just make fan art, because I think it's a great way to like learn how to draw. And I still think it gets like a bad rap, because like a lot of people are like, you're still drawing like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? And I'm like, yes. I have been a fan since I was 5. Because I grew up with like the 2000s Turtles, and then the 2000 Teen Turtles, and I guess beyond that. The sixth thing that I wish I knew before becoming an artist is to make bad art. Make bad art. Just make bad art. I remember when I was in my senior year of college, and we had a special guest come in, and it was Jake Wyatt. Jake Wyatt, who had done some comics in the past, and I think he helped out with like the new Superman show, the one with Strong Buck Boy, and there's like a romance. It's very cute. I've never seen it. I haven't seen it yet. But oh yes, and he designed oh gosh, what was her name? I think he designed one of the spider characters in Spider-Verse. The girl with the giant robot. He designed her. I'll put something down in the description to describe it. But he designed that. And I remember showing him my work. And I showed him this like animatic, and it was so messy. Like, I was very proud of it because I took a lot of time into it, but it was so messy. Like, it was so hard to read. And at the time I didn't know that. And I showed it to him and I was like, what do you think? And he was like, I like it, but I have some advice for you. And I was like, what? He's like, draw everything. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? He's draw everything. And I was like, oh. And he was like, I have a couple of books for you to like look up and look through. And I'm like, okay. And I bought all those books. And looking back on it now, I'm like, I think I finally understand what he meant. 'Cause I think when I mean to say like making bad art is just make art. No matter how, like, don't worry about it being perfect or not. Because perfectionism is the killer to creativity. And also, if you spend like, I don't know, like months on one piece and you still like, nah, it's still not good. I can make it better. You're gonna spend so much time just trying to figure out like how to make this piece better. And like, and it's, I mean, like, make bad art. I have never met an artist that I've come up to and say like, or like, I have never met an artist say that their art is absolutely perfect. Like, and I have never, I mean, like, I've never met somebody like that. Like, because when we look at our own art, we all can see the little imperfections in the piece. And we all know how we felt while working on it. And like, the sun is getting so bright. You cannot see me. But anyway, I have never met an artist that has like told me like, yes, this is absolutely perfect. Nothing needs to be changed. There are no mistakes involved. I believe that anyone can make bad art, but an artist makes bad art all the time. Like, they make bad art and they don't stop. They don't stop. I also think that you do not have to be a professional to be an artist. I've seen kids like go and apply to art school and they're like, I didn't get in. I guess I won't be an artist. And I'm like, no. One. Sometimes you get waitlisted and sometimes people drop out. I mean, schools and grades do not define the person that you are. Like, it does not define your intelligence, it does not define your creativity, and it doesn't define your capabilities. Like, you can make art no matter what people say. Like, you can still be an artist. You can still be an artist and not make money from it. I mean, like, I've seen artists be happy just by doing it as a hobby. And, like, so, I mean, it could go both ways. You can be an artist and make money from it, or you can be an artist and don't make money off of it and just do it as a side thing and still be happy. But if you're gonna still like sit there and wait until inspiration strikes, or like keep correcting the drawing over and over again, or like keep rewriting the comic that you have in your head, or like keep fixing the animation over and over and over and over and over again, you're never gonna get it done. Like, if you don't make bad art, you're never going to get anything done. Like, you're never going to get anything done if you don't make bad art. It's so important to make bad art because bad art is the stepping stones for you to learn more ways to create. Make bad art so you can I don't know. You go. I don't know how else to describe it. I hope that makes sense. Like, that's why we have sketchbooks, so we can like make bad art. Sketchbooks are the place that we can doodle and like just throw shit on the page. Just throw a bunch of shit on the page. Gosh, what was I gonna say? This is why I should have made a script instead of me just like saying a bunch of things. You will fill your sketchbook much faster if you make bad art. And how else are you going to learn to draw if you don't like draw bad hands or draw bad feet or draw bad bodies or draw bad buildings, bad cars? Right now I'm drawing cars and people right now, and I keep looking at them and I'm like, they look so bad, but I'm gonna keep drawing them because I like drawing these cars. Also, my advice to you when you're trying to like draw things that are tough, try to figure out how to make it fun. Because like, I don't know how to draw cars, but the way I am learning how to draw cars is by drawing tiny trucks, like cars that were made in like the 80s and 70s, because cars back then, they were doing some weird stuff, but so cool. Like, all the cars back then were shaped much differently than cars now. They were less aerodynamic and like they looked kind of wonky. Like, they actually, like, look more like characters than they do cars. You could also do that with buildings, and you could also do that with people. Like, draw a realistic person and then make it into a cartoon. Like, draw from the picture first. Like, get a bunch of references of, like, photographs. Draw it realistically, and then do the cartoon version of it. If you go straight to the cartoon version of it, you are going to make bad art. You are going to make bad art. And you might learn something from it. But you're going to learn more if you make more drawings, I think. So yes. Those are my 6 things that I wish I learned before becoming an artist. I hope these things make sense. I hope these things make sense. I'm sorry if I just like blabbered on about things. Also, I realized it's close to Halloween, so I didn't really do anything very Halloween-y themed. Wait, hang on. Okay, so this is sort of gonna be my Halloween costume for this year. I'm going as Sherlock. Yeah. I hope this video was informative and fun. Fun? 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 Or at least informative, and maybe this will give you some inspiration on what to do next as a beginner artist. This is really for those who are either about to go to college and starting courses for being an illustrator or artist, or just somebody just like wanting to know like what to do next, or like feeling stumped. I don't know. But I hope this was an enjoyable video, and hopefully I will do one of these again sometime. With that said, if it's not Halloween yet, happy Halloween. And if it's after Halloween, happy spooky time. Alright. Have a great day. Be gentle with yourself. Bye.